let's get into this video tutorial. First, I did receive this wig, and it is from Amazon. For this one, I definitely had to do some work. So the wig is a 24-inch loose wave, and it does say, I think, if I remember correctly, because you know, like, my memory isn't that great, it's a Brazilian Remy Virgin human hair wig, okay? So it's loose curly or loose wavy, whatever you want to call it. 24 inches, 150% density, and like I said, it does say Brazilian Remy Virgin human hair. So you guys know with virgin hair, it's unprocessed, it's not colored, it's none of that. You know, you could just do whatever you want to it and you'll be good. So when I got it in the mail, it did come in this box right here, okay? And it did come with some elastic, or an elastic band, and I already used that to put in a wig. And it also came with these really nice lashes, which I also used too. And it also came with this wig cap, okay? So anyway, so when I got the wig, you know, I got it in the mail. Thank goodness that same particular day I was bleaching some knots on some frontals, okay? So, you know, I don't really like to go back to doing something. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it all at one time, whether it be 5 or 6 frontals or wigs, bleaching the knots. I'm going to just do it all at one time so I can get out the way. So I went ahead and I did this one, okay? So I left this on for like 40 minutes to bleach, okay? So I did use 30 Developer, and I also used this new bleach that's out by Salon Pro, and it's more like a clay bleach. It goes up to 6 levels, you know what I'm saying? It's for any type of hair, any hair color. It doesn't leave it brassy or anything. And I was, you know, I like it. I like it. And it actually is a different texture. So I went ahead and I bleached this. I put it on. I bleached it for like 45 minutes. And when it was time, I rinsed it. And I noticed that the knots were still all dark. And I bleached it for like another 40 minutes. And same thing. It did not lift. Now I'm just going to pre-pluck the hairline like I normally do, and I'm just going to put some makeup on it. So as I was pre-plucking the hairline, while it was kind of like, I want to say probably like 75% dry, I noticed that my hands became really dark and like dirty looking. I'm just going to go ahead and basically, you know, style this. So we're just going to get into this real quick. Okay, you guys, so let me tell y'all, it wasn't that much work, you know what I'm saying? I just wish I would have known that it was dyed, because it does say color 1B, and if it's virgin, it's actually natural. There's really no color. It should just say natural. But that is the cons about the wig, that the knots did not lift. Now, the pros about it are, okay, first of all, it's 24 inches, hunties. Oh, my lash got stuck. It's 24 inches in length. So if you like that long hair, this is like definitely for you. It's $183 on Amazon for 24 inches, okay? And the hair texture, though, if it's not virgin, the hair texture is still bomb as hell. Like, it's very soft, it's very silky, it's lustrous, it's really nice, and it's easy to manage, okay? So that's the one thing that I do like about this unit, even though the knots did not work out for me. I mean, I like the darkness colors. I'm used to wearing the dark colors, but I do think, like, the hair is, like, really, really pretty. Like, the hair is, y'all know I love me some loose wave or loose curl or whatever they want to call it. I like it too. I love this type of hair and curl pattern, because then I really don't have to do anything. The density is 150, so it's actually really like a believable unit, but you're going to have to do some work for this one. Like, seriously, you're going to have to do some work. And what I'm suggesting may not be for you, especially if you don't have like that much experience in the wig world, but if you are willing to give it a try, then I definitely would say get you some good foundation that matches your skin complexion. You know what I'm saying? Use the one that you use already on your face if you wear makeup, and get you a nice small makeup brush and just apply it on the knots. If you use pressed powder, it's definitely not going to work, because it's pressed powder. It's powder. It's going to definitely eventually going to vanish off, disappear. It's just going to, you know, be gone. So I really suggest like either I would say a foundation, because, and I would definitely say the foundation that you use, because of course everybody's scalp is lighter, but I would rather my scalp be the same identical complexion to my face versus it being too light when I go outside and it looks chalky and white and everybody's like, ooh, girl, she got on a wig, okay? So I would rather it be my actual foundation that I apply on my face. So that way it's all like, you know, mashing together. Now, you really need to make sure that you put the brush, the foundation on the knots in the front. Now, here's the trick to this. Make some wispy hairs, not baby hairs, because baby hairs are like the ones that, you know, I call them wispies because, as you guys see, they're not pasted down, they're just brushed. They're just brushed down. And when you brush them down like so, okay, you can also form a kind of like a design, and, you know, you can actually brush it a little bit up, so that way the dark knots are not as noticeable as they would have been if you used or just did baby hairs. You know, a lot of times baby hairs are like glued down, gelled down, whatever, and you can still kind of like tell that it's a natural or unnatural look. So when it comes to like curly hair, I definitely would say do yourself a justice and just brush down the hair. You can cut some of them in the front and just brush it down with a good toothbrush, and you don't have to brush it in any particular style. Just take your toothbrush and just, you know, just do it. Go downwards, and kind of like, you know, curve it up a little bit, so that way you're definitely hiding the knots in it and you don't see them. Now for this one, I just didn't want to put on any type of hairspray except for on the hair right here to hold it up. I didn't want to adhere it to my head. I didn't want to glue it down. I didn't want to do all of that work, because honestly, not everybody wants to do that all the time. And like, you know, you don't need it, especially if you have like an elastic band. Like, for real, this elastic band, y'all, got my wig laid, okay? Like, seriously, it really, really does. The elastic band is really sometimes all you need, depending on the hairstyle that you're going for. Now, if you're wearing a high bun, I'm not really sure how that's going to work out in your favor. But if you sew that elastic band on like perfectly, hunties, you'll be good to go. So I think with the elastic band, it definitely worked for me. I just put them where the combs are at, on the temples, and then I just make sure that it's snug and tight. So that way the wig is laying flat to my scalp as it is right here. Like, there's no buckling, there's no lifting. The wig is actually really, really tight on. You know, I could lift it up, but you don't see any buckling. But I will say this, I'll give them this much, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would be my ratings? I would probably have to say like a 6 to a 6.5, only because you will have to do some work to it. You will need to, you know, add some foundation if it's not virgin and it has been processed, you know, dyed. The knots are not going to lift if it's been dyed, okay? So if you cannot bleach the knots of any lace front, then I would highly suggest taking a small makeup brush and your foundation and just taking your time, because this is going to take a few minutes, and just dotting it on and kind of like brushing it in. Okay, that's how it will work. And just brushing the hairs down, don't have them like glued to your head. So like this looks really like average or natural because of the hairs, the little wispy hairs. I wouldn't say go overboard with the foundation. I would definitely say just use what you've already got in your stash that you've used on your face already. But for the most part, I did have to do some work. I didn't really have to do that much work, but I do feel like I did bleach it twice, so that is part of the work, and I did pre-pluck it, so that is part of the work. But in the long run, I made it work for me, girl. I'm like, I'm never about to be defeated by a wig. Okay, so let's be honest. I have been defeated by quite a few wigs, but I wasn't about to let this one defeat me. So at the end of the day, it looks really decent, okay? The hair texture is like bomb as hell. Like, this is some really nice soft hair. It's very manageable. I do like that. It did shed, and that's probably because, of course, I was pre-plucking the hairline, and then I washed it. But, hunties, I like the flow of this for real. This is like some pretty loose wave hair. For 24 inches, I don't really wear it this long, but I do like this one right here. I like this, I didn't really put too much foundation on the unit to camouflage it too much. I just put it in the areas where it's noticeable. I'm not going to go all the way in the back and just like do all of that. I just put it on the areas in the front to where you can definitely see it if you were to, walk up on me. And you may want to bring it back just a little bit. It depends on your preference. But for the most part, it worked out good. Definitely with my foundation and just the method. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to glue it down. So you guys, on that note, I will see you on another video. All the information will be down below.